So now we are in the app.js. Let's see what all changes we have to make so that we can get our things running. Now what we'll first do is, let's say just clear out the example, this example function. And what I have removed is basically here there was a console log of accounts where all the accounts were getting listed. And here there was this console log of instance where the instance was getting uh, logged basically. So now you have all these lines to initiate the instance, and then you have this call to this function example which is empty. So you can also try this, but remember your truffle should be running. This truffle ganache should be running to work this out. So let's try this. If this works or not, we have to first save this file. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that we have to first redeploy our contract because we have changed it. So for that we'll write truffle migrate minus minus reset so that it gets deployed again. Let's wait for it to get deployed. So as you can see, it will get deployed. Let's wait for it. But then similarly, we can see that out here, it's basically this only the initializing part is out here. This mount function is there, which is an async function. Keep in mind that most of the functions out here should be async because we have to await for each and everything as it is getting from the blockchain. And then we have the mount which is outside of all of these. So this mount is the one which gets called, and inside this mount we call this example accounts comma instance, which is out here, and it takes parameters accounts and contract, and then we work out here. Let's see. So it's getting deployed. So meanwhile it gets deployed, we can actually start writing the code out here. So what we will first do is we will just call the function event emit, the emit event function basically, or the event emit, whatever the name is. So we can put out a receipt, const receipt as a constant, and then we'll just await contract dot methods. Okay, let's check the name once. The name is event emit. So let's see, event emit, and then we'll pass in a string. Let's say hello, and then we'll just send the transaction. Yeah, and most important thing, you cannot emit events by the call method. You have to send the transaction to emit the event, because what the blockchain knows is that there is some change for which it is emitting the event. So you have to send it and not call it. So now let's see, from accounts and then 0. So we have out here, we are calling this function event emit. Now we'll console log the receipt, only the receipt. Oops. Let's try this out. We'll first go to the client folder. And then what we can do is we can call it node app.js. So let's see. Okay, there's a lot of stuff out here, but then lesser than when we were printing out the instance and also the array of accounts. Let's see what's there. So we have again the transaction hash, transaction index, block number, block hash, from to gas use. Okay, all these are there. Then we have the events. In the events, there is this k event. If you have more events emitted, it will be shown like this. So this K is one event, then there will be a next event, then there will be a next event, like that. So right now our event is K, capital K. And let's see, the event has its own log index, transaction hash, block number, which is 122 because my Ganache has been running from, I don't know, like a lot of time. Type mind. Yeah, this is the main thing, this return values. Right now it shows as a result object. I'll show you how to access this. And this is the event name. So our main focus is in the events in the return values, which is the result. So how to get this? What we can do is we can put it as receipt dot. So we are in this object, and now what we can do is receipt dot events out here. So receipt dot events. Now let's see what comes back. Okay, so now you can see only the K event has come back with all these, and in the result object, in the return values result, you can see this thing, which is new. So what is this? This is actually two times the same thing. This is one block and this is the next block. So you can see out here in the next block you have the index 1, the date so and so, and the identifier as hello. Also the same thing, but with only the index numbers are mentioned out here. So it's the same thing. These two are same thing. You see index, date and ident, which is the return values of the event. So you can see this, and then what we can do next is dot, can put it as K, because K is the event we are talking about. Now let's try one more time. Let's see what happens with the K. Okay, so this time only this object has been returned. Now let's again go into this. Let's try with dot return values. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we have got only the return values now. The result thing, only the return values. So now you might be thinking what to do with this object. We need the exact, like either the date or the identifier, something exact. So what we can do it is now we can just put it as dot, let's say identifier dot ident. Let's try this. Just keep on saving as and when you are typing, right? Making changes, just keep on saving. You can see only the hello has come, which is this one. So that is how you can take out logs from events. But this is not a prescribed way. Why? Because for this you have to every time send a function, or you have to like basically call a function by the send method, and only after that you will get this event back. But there are some ways by which you can get the events even though you're not calling any function, just directly querying into the blockchain. I'll show you that in the next lecture.